Good morning, dear students. Let's begin with a new session in English. Hi, everyone. What do you mean by sentences? Sentences are a group of words which are joined together to form a complete meaning or a complete sense to us. We can divide these sentences into different categories. Based on the structure as well as the function, we can divide sentences. Based on the structure, we can divide sentences into simple sentences, compound sentences, and complex sentences. Whereas, based on the function, we can divide sentences into four different groups. We are going to study in detail about all the types of sentences based on the function. Based on the function, we can divide sentences into four different groups. The first one, declarative sentence or assertive sentence or statement type sentence. Second, imperative sentence. Then comes interrogative sentence, and the last one, exclamatory sentence. So based on the function, we can divide sentences into four different groups. We're going to study in detail about each and every type of sentence. What is meant by declarative sentence or assertive sentence or statement type sentence? Yes, from the name itself, it is very clear. It gives some declarations or assertions or statements. So, declarative sentences make a statement. They tell us something. They give us information and they normally ends with a full stop. So, declarative sentences tell us something or it can be some normal statements. The usual word order for the declarative sentence is that is the basic structure of a sentence in English too. Yes, we, O. Yes stands for subject, V stands for verb, and O stands for object. So that is the usual word order of a declarative sentence, and that is the basic structure of a sentence in English too. Then we can say that declarative sentences can be positive or negative. So it can be positive or negative. Positive statements we are often calling as affirmative sentences or positive statements. Then the other side, negative sentences. Let us take some examples. I like coffee. What type of sentence? Is it positive or negative? Yes, it's a positive statement. See the other side. I do not like coffee. So I like coffee is an affirmative sentence, whereas I do not like coffee is a negative sentence. See the next example. We watched the TV last night. It's a positive statement or affirmative sentence. Whereas on the other side, we did not watch TV last night. So it's a negative statement. So we can say that declarative sentences we can divide into two, positive or negative sentences or affirmative or negative sentences. Then comes the second type of sentence based on the function, that is interrogative sentence or question type sentence. Interrogative sentence ask a question. They ask us something, whereas assertive sentence tell us something. Interrogative sentences ask us something. They want information and they always end with a question mark. It's something like what we used to do. If we want to know about something or somebody or someone, we used to ask a lot of questions, sometimes to the same person or to someone else about this person. So, like that, when we want something or when we want to know something, we ask questions because we want information. And the interrogative sentences are always ending with a question mark. Actually, interrogative sentences we can divide into two. Questions start with the question words or WH questions and yes or no questions. Most of the question words are starting with the WH word, so we are calling it as WH questions or questions with the question words. The other type of interrogative sentence is yes or no questions. For example, if I ask you a question, are you a doctor? Your answer will be no. But if I ask you, are you a student? It can be yes. Are you a teacher? It can be yes. So based on the answer, it varies. So we can call this type of sentences as yes or no questions, or it belongs to interrogative sentences. For these two types of questions are having word order in little different ways. First one is questions with the question words. So WH word plus auxiliary verb plus subject plus verb plus object plus question mark. So that is the basic structure of an interrogative sentence. Questions with question words. I repeat the structure. WH word plus auxiliary plus subject plus verb plus object plus question mark. Whereas when it comes in a so no question, instead of the WH word, we have to use there the auxiliary verb. So yes or no questions are starting with the auxiliary verbs or helping verbs. That is why we get the answer either yes or no. So yes or no questions, basic structure, auxiliary verb plus subject plus verb plus object plus question mark. Then interrogative sentences can be positive or negative, as it was discussed in assertive sentences. Even interrogative sentences are also be either positive or negative. Let us see some examples. Do you like coffee? Yes, it is an interrogative sentence. Would see the other side. Don't you like coffee? So the question is asked in a negative way. Why did you go? It's a question in a positive tone. See the other side. Why didn't you go? It's a question in a negative tone. So we can say that interrogative sentences can be positive or negative. Next we have imperative sentences. An imperative sentence is a type of sentence that gives instructions or advice and expresses a command, an order, a direction, or a request. It is also known as a justive or directive. Depending upon its delivery, an imperative sentence may end with an exclamation mark or a full stop. It is usually simple and short, but could be long and complex depending upon its context. So, imperative sentences are a type of sentence but that gives us instructions, advice, or express commands, an order, what to say, a suggestion, or anything like that. It is also known as a directive sentence. Depending upon its delivery, or it varies according to the tone of the speaker. For example, if I say, open the door, yes, the tone is a command. It's an imperative sentence. If I say, open the door or open the door, please, here the tone is entirely different. Even though the words are same, but the tone is entirely different. It's a request. Request is also coming in imperative sentence. So based on the tone of the speaker, it may change. And very easy. There is an easy method to identify the imperative sentence. That is, most of the imperative sentences are starting with the verbs only, unlike other sentences. When we see the other sentences, we can see that there is a basic structure to be followed. Whereas when it comes to imperative sentence, most of the imperative sentences are starting with the verbs only. Close the window, open the door, get lost from the class. Everything is starting with the verbs only. The types of imperative sentences. First one, share a wish or request. So to share a wish or request, we use imperative sentences. This type of imperative sentence shares polite wishes and requests with someone. such as have a good day. So if there is a wish to deliver or if there is a request, we can use this imperative sentences. See the example, have a good day. Next one, to offer an invitation. So we can use this imperative sentences to extend an invitation, such as please join me for dinner tonight. I'm waiting for you. Please join me for dinner tonight. So here it is something like giving an offer or just an invitation. Next one, share a command or request. This type of imperative sentence gives a command or shares a request such as stop beating the dog. So again, as I told you, again based on the tone of the speaker, it varies. It can be a command and it can be a request too. Next one, give instructions. So to give instructions, we use imperative sentences. So this type of imperative sentence gives instructions such as let him cool down and then ask about the incident. So you can ask him about the incident, but first let him cool down. So remember, there are different types of imperative sentences based on the tone. First one, or based on the usage. First one, share a wish or request. Second one, offer an invitation. Then third one, share a command or request. And the last one, give instructions. So for all these things, we use imperative sentences. The last division of sentences based on the function is exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentences express strong emotions or surprise. It ends with an exclamation mark. So, to express some strong emotions or sudden feelings, we use exclamatory sentences. The usual word order for the exclamatory sentence is what plus an adjective plus noun plus subject plus verb, or how plus adjective or adverb subject plus verb. Here you have some examples. What a liar he is. So here we know it is something like what is a our emotions or feelings are expressed in this. What a liar he is. So it's an exclamatory sentence. What an exciting movie it was. So again, our feelings are expressed there. That too, sudden and strong feelings are expressed there. So it is again an exclamatory sentence. How he lied. Something that we can't trust. Again, an exclamatory sentence. And the last one, how exciting the movie was. We have gone for a movie, but it was an exciting movie. So understand, to express sudden and strong feelings or emotions, we use exclamatory sentence. What is a question tag and what is it used for? A question tag is a short question at the end of a sentence using the following form: a sentence, then auxiliary verb plus subject in its pronoun form plus question mark. We use a question tag for asking someone to agree with us. For example, today is extremely hot, isn't it? So to get a confirmation, we ask or we use question tag. Or checking if something is true. For example, you are Dan's sister, aren't you? So we can say that question tags we use to get a confirmation to our statements, or whatever statement we make to get a surety or to get a confirmation, we use question tags. It has got the structure, the sentence which we made or the statement which we made is followed by the auxiliary verb or helping verb, then the subject in its pronoun form and question mark. We have to keep a few things before going to do question tags. So let us check the basics of question tags. Sentence and question tag must be in same tense. Always try to follow the same tense for the sentence as well as question tag. If the statement is negative, the question tag must be positive. In the same way, if the statement is positive, the question tag must be negative. So there is a relationship between the statements and the question tag would be make there. If the statement is negative, the question tag must be positive, and if the statement is positive, the question tag must be negative. Always use pronoun in question tags. Even though the sentence starts with a noun or a subject, but when we use the question tag, we must follow or we must use a pronoun instead of a noun in question tag. Then always use contracted form in negative question tag. As it was told, the statement is positive, our tag must be negative. So we can make the question tag negative by adding not to the auxiliary verb. So when you use it in a tag form, in a tag question, instead of using not, you can use the contracted form insert. N apostrophe C. So these are the basic things to be kept in your minds while doing question tags. Let us examine some examples. See the first one. You will do it quickly. The sentence is positive or negative? Yes, it's a positive sentence. Obviously, the tag must be negative. So positive sentence always takes a negative tag. So you will do it quickly is a positive statement. So you can make the tag as won't you. Will is auxiliary. Then to make the sentence negative, we have to add their not. So will plus not makes it won't. Subject is you. So won't you. So always remember a positive sentence takes a negative tag. See the next one. She isn't happy. The sentence is positive or negative? Yes, it's a negative sentence because there is a word not. So if the sentence is negative, the tag must be positive. So she isn't happy. What's the tag? Is auxiliary. Sentence is negative and the subject is she. So is she. Is she is the question tag. So always remember negative sentence takes a positive tag. See the next one. We went to the party. What is special about this sentence? Yes, the auxiliary verb is not given directly. So in this case, as it was told before, you have to split the main verb. What is the main verb? Yes, went is the main verb. You have to split the main verb in terms of do, does, did. As I told you, if the verb is in its past form, it contains did in it. That means did plus go, that is went. So when you split the main verb went, you will get did plus go. Take did from there. Then see the sentence is positive or negative. Yes, the sentence is positive. So make the tag negative by adding in to the auxiliary. Didn't. What is the subject? We is the subject. So what's the tag? Didn't we? So we went to the party. What's the tag? Didn't we? Then see the last one. Joe and Anne are British. Joe and Anne are British. What is special about this sentence? Yes, here the subjects are given in its noun forms, not in pronoun forms there. In this case, we have to use the pronoun forms in question tag. So, the sentence is positive or negative? Yes, the sentence is positive. So, remember the tag must be negative. So, what is the auxiliary verb? Are is the auxiliary verb. So, aren't. Joe and Anne can we use? No, we have to use it in its pronoun form. What's the pronoun form? Yes, of course. They is the pronoun form. So what's the tag? Aren't they? So Joe and Anne are British. aren't they? Here you can see some special cases. Whatever we do, there will be some special cases, right? So let us see the special cases come in question text. First one, I'm right. What's a tag? What should be the tag? You may be thinking that aren't I? No, but the tag is aren't I? It's a special case. No, aren't I? We can't use. We can use only aren't I? Aren't I? Next one. You have to go. You will be having a lot of assumptions or guess in your mind. Need not to give any guess. The answer is don't you. You have to go, don't you? So you do have to go. That is structure. So obviously don't you. Next one. I have been answering. I have been answering. What is the answer? Haven't I? Haven't I? Use the first auxiliary. What is that? Have is auxiliary. So use the first auxiliary. So the answer is haven't I? Nothing came in the post. Nothing came in the post. As there is no auxiliary you can see directly. Came is the main verb. Split the main verb in terms of Judas did. Came is the past form of come. So did plus come makes came. Right? So the sentence is positive or negative. Sentence is negative because there is a word nothing. Nothing, nobody, none, everything makes the sentence negative. So make a positive tag. Did it. Did it. Next one. Nobody called me. Nobody called me. So again, there is no auxiliary verb. So split the main verb in terms of do, does, did. Called means did plus called. So you got did from there. Subject. Nobody called me. Did they? Did they? They is a pronoun you can use there. Did they is the question tag. Everyone or everybody came. Everyone or everybody came. Again, no auxiliary verb. Split the main verb in terms of do, does, did. Did plus come makes came. So take did from there and see the sentence is positive. Make it negative. Didn't they? Didn't they? Next one. I hardly check my mail. I hardly. I told you hardly and scarcely negative terms. So it makes the sentence negative. Then there is no auxiliaries given directly. Split the main verb in terms of do, does, did. Check. Verb contains do in it because it is in its root form or V1 form or base form. And see the sentence is negative because hardly is there. So do I? Do I? You never read books. You never read books. Yes, it's a very simple negative sentence. Make positive tag. Read is the main verb. Split the main verb in terms of do, does, did. So you get do. Do you? Do you is the question tag. Another case. Let's go. If any sentence starts with this, let's or let us, we have to use a common tag that is shall we. Let's go for a movie, shall we? Let's play, shall we? Let's start, shall we? Got it? Next one. He had better do it. He had better do it. What's the tag? Hadn't he? Hadn't he? He had better do it. The tag is hadn't he? He had better. Okay, the tag is hadn't he? So these special cases always keep in your mind. Here you have an exercise taken from your Grammarite textbook. Kindly do the exercise in your textbook. Please check your answers with the help of the given answer key. With this, we have come to the end of today's session. Thank you so much for listening.